example. In fact, most of them were back by the time Gough Whitlam came into power. But he brought back the Army Training Corps and freed those who had been jailed because of conscription and ended conscription. So he took from 1966 so we'd see Philip Ruddock's coming in to the service at the moment. So I'd say a reasonably partisan crowd as well.
We'll also be hearing from Senator John Faulkner, the father of the Senate.
And so Gareth Evans and Mark Dreyfus coming in at the moment. So Gareth Evans, of course, a towering figure inside the Hawke government, and Mark Dreyfus, the current Shadow Attorney General. So you can tell which side this crowd's on.
There's Paul Keating.
I think we'll just let the crowd speak for itself.
Well, as you can hear and see, thousands of mourners are being turned away from Sydney's Town Hall with the venue already at capacity. Many have come outside the Town Hall, as you can see. Getting very vocal here now, isn't it, Chris?
It's really interesting. It's like being in a football crowd. They very much like the Labor figures. They very much just like the Coalition figures. He wrapped up the spirit in people's minds, and that's why, really, he's seen as a transformative figure for the Labor Party and for Australia. That's not entirely unexpected as John Howard arrives. He's a man who obviously doesn't divide this crowd.
Okay. Very strong welcome there. I can't compete with this. We've got Prime Minister Tony Abbott arriving now, and of course before that, juxtaposed with a warm welcome by Julia Gillard. We'll see how divisive the crowd can be here.
And look, and interesting, if you go by a measure of this particular crowd, then the reception for Kevin Rudd and Julia Gillard, I think, tells you, at least among the Labor faithful, who's winning the history wars on that 6 years of Labor in power.
Of course, it was a Labor Party led by Julia Gillard for a couple of years. How important is the changes he made for those future members of the Labor Party?
Oh, absolutely vital, because you cannot compare the Labor Party of today with the Labor Party in the 1950s and 1960s that Gough Whitlam joined. In the way that so many of the earlier leaders have been. And he basically caught the spirit of the baby boom generation and the middle class, the rising middle class in Australia. Gough Whitlam spoke to that group of people. And I remember very well, I was 12 years old at the time, the 1972 election, the tremendous sense of excitement that was around there. And then so at the moment, Tony Abbott's speaking to Bob Hawke.
Well, what do you think they're talking about?
Oh, I'm not quite sure, but they clearly get on a lot better than many of the people in the crowd would with Tony Abbott.